welcome to Citizens United. As you can see, it's a different setting. I'm not at with Noelle. Noelle went on vacation, nicely for her. She'll be back next week. But in your thoughts and stuff, if you would, her fiance was in a horrible motorcycle accident where he hit a deer. Luckily for him, though, he was wearing his helmet. He does have a lot of like broken bones and stuff that he's going to have to heal. But he really, I think, got it. Luckily for him, he had his helmet on, or it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So when you're out there, your thoughts would be great. Hopefully his healing, he's got two little ones, happen quickly. All right, we have guests today. Robin's here, of course, too, but she's doing what she does. We'll be hearing from Robin at some point. We have guests today, though, and I'm going to bring them in about 2 seconds. Let's bring them in now. What are we going to do here? Let's bring them in. Hey, Uniquia.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Good. And this is Uniquia Lewis. If you don't know out there, she's running for Niagara Falls City Council. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's kind of nice. It's kind of cool today. It's nice out.
Absolutely. We needed a day like this.
Yeah, we definitely did. I know. Well, let's start with you. How's things been going? How's the campaign trail? Like, how's it feel?
Exhausting.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, definitely rewarding. A lot of people, we have been getting a lot of love. A lot of people have been supporting us. Let's just hope it's enough to take the win.
Right. And now joining us is Demetreus Nix, who is running for Niagara Falls mayor. How you doing, Demetreus?
Great.
How's the? I was going to ask you, and this is you might shut the camera off. I was going to ask you about libraries.
Huh?
I'm not. I was going to ask you about libraries. What do you think about librarians and stuff?
I think a lady just got shot in the head.
Yeah.
Sarah just got shot in the head on 19th and Fall, so I'm still on the same issue. The library is something that needs to be addressed as far as financial issues in this, but I think it's something that is being addressed every single election, every single time, but it isn't a beast or a concern of the community like that. It's something that a mayor is going to have to deal with, but at the end of the day, we got more important issues to deal with if we only got a short amount of time to talk about them. That's true. You're absolutely right, and that's why what happened there at the that debate, you were more than justified to walk out because there was nothing. The library, obviously, you guys know, everyone's on the internet. We don't need a library no more, pretty much.
Right.
No one does research at the library like we used to. So, Demetrius, you brought up.
So I stormed out, but from behind it was okay. This is the reason that people don't know. I was at a debate that the mayor didn't show up to. That the next day the debate would have been pointless. It didn't really have a purpose. But by me addressing the issue, which was the opiate pandemic, it gave issue that nobody was thinking about or nobody was paying attention to, and it made it front and center. And that was my point. A lot of people like, oh, he flipped out. He can't handle the heat. No, he's willing to flip out to bring the heat to issues that people really care about. Like the fact that 2 days ago, a 20-year-old passed away from an overdose. But he was smoking weed, but the weed was laced with fentanyl and died. This is issues. I've been getting so much continuous and poured out love on Facebook from me saying, thank you for standing up. I lost my brother. I lost my cousin. I lost my nephew. And it's a real outcry from people saying, thank you for standing up for us.
Yeah, yes, and you just brought up a thing that happened here on 19th and Fall Street where, if you tell me, a car collision along with someone shot in the head.
Yeah, they said a car accident and someone shot in the head. They're not really giving, much details, but, it's right here. I don't think I can turn my...
Okay.
But right here, I actually been here. They said that it was a car accident, woman accidentally shot in the head. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, but like I say, when crime happens, the woman star that actually got shot, we know her. She's from the community. So this is just when these things happen, it's directly affecting me. So when people say, why are you so passionate about all these matters in this city? Because when the wrong happens and when this stuff happens, it's so close to home to everybody I know. These are issues that we've been facing forever, and it's finally like, well, hold up, give us a shot to try and stop the crime. Give us a shot to try and rehabilitate people that's on drugs and give them a shot to actually have a better future, to not have to, shoot up every day.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Everything, the way it's been being done isn't working. We know, we see it. It isn't. Uniqua, it's just not Uniqua.
Exactly. I feel like, we've been conditioned for so long to do things the same way. It's time that we try something different.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, now how would you, this is a tough question that I don't know if there's an answer to. If you're mayor all of a sudden, and you're on city council, Unica, and Demetrius, you're now mayor, what is the first thing you would do on this? Like, what could you do right out of the gate, day one, on guns, opioids, things like that?
And influence it is one of the first things we could do by using the fact that one of us is here that matter and give hope. That's the first thing we got to do. And that's what I've been doing now. Even though we're not in, we've been giving hope, trying to get it down. We've been really fighting it behind the scenes that this is the car.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
This is the accident right here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all was able to see,
Yeah.
but that's the car. That's the accident that just happened. So the first thing we got to do is seek out, and the police know, as well as those in the community that would actually talk to me, know who's the ones doing all the shooting. Normally it's 10 names that keep recycling. So the first thing we got to do is reach these 10 people, and we got to try and flip them. We got to try and get them involved in the community and get them to have something to live for, and then use them to influence others. Like what I've been doing, but the difference is now with having that power to actually be able to say, okay, it's time for this change. We're bringing the change, but we're going right at the ones that's high risk, the ones that's known and not known. We're going right to them personally, sitting them down and said, okay, it's time for change. It's time for us to really tackle this problem and make our city safe. And, I'm going to also use the fact that, come on, y'all got to make us look good. We come from this community, they're giving us a shot. If we win tomorrow, that's the city of Niagara Falls giving those that have been forgotten a shot to say, okay, well, you think you could fix your problems? Here, fix them. If they give us that shot, we must step to the plate. Not just me, but we must step as a community.
Yeah. Unica?
We must come together. Everybody has to participate. Everybody have to, do their part as far as being, moving forward in a positive way. I
I'm
think we
doing
do
great.
need to make that connection as far as like um, with getting into programs because, like I said, we help people here at the Entrepreneur School of Thought, and there's always something like either there's not enough room, or not enough workers. They have to come back. It's like when you're ready for the help is really not available in the community. So we need I mean, I'm not really too sure exactly how, but some way we have to figure out of how to bridge that little gap right there as
Great.
well.
How are you? Good. How are you? Great. Great.
Now, in the message board, anyone out there watching us, please put questions or comments in the message board. One comment right now from Bill Nye says inclusion, not exclusion. Also, I have a question. This is for Demetrius, and it's from Andrea Megan, and she's from Niagara Falls Uncensored. And I'm not sure if this is a question for tomorrow or a general election question, but you can answer it any way you like. She asks, would you drop out of the race if that would help defeat the mayor?
No, I would not drop out of the race because it would help defeat the mayor, because I'm not running against Mayor Restaino. I'm not running against Chalokian. I'm running against a corrupt system for people that no matter who wins, they are not going to answer us as a people. They're not going to think about the little issues of the people. So no, I will not drop out just to try and hope somebody else win when I already got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of first-time voters that never voted before, but they standing up for me. So why would I drop out when in reality I feel tomorrow is going to be a win, and it's going to be a big win for us because of the level of support. If I'm coming out to stand for a community, to stand for the city, Why would I drop out because, oh, this is going to help him just lose and all I want to do is mess up his life? I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get in here and really make a difference in issues that nobody else has addressed, that no one else has stood for. So how can I drop out just to try and beat somebody else?
Let me
Or
ask.
so if somebody else could beat
Let me
somebody else.
ask. Let me ask you both something. I can start with Uniquia on this one. Or you both can answer at the same time. However, do you think we need more police?
No.
We need a better relationship with the police. I don't think we need more. I just think we need a better relationship with the police.
Right.
And that's what one of the things that if I'm actually elected mayor, I'm going to pick a chief of police that the community has respect for. I'm talking about the high risk community, the community that's committing these crimes and the community that's into all these drugs. Because a lot of this stuff, crime is based around the drugs is causing a big part of it. So we got to appoint a police chief that's actually going to build the relations between the community and the police. We need to get us interacting together. We need to get us actually talking to each other and start conversating with each other. Once that happens, the police is going to be able to do better detective work. They're going to be able to better penetrate the community because they're going to understand the community better. So that's what I'm hoping for, that we actually could connect the high risk community in the police and really build that bridge between the two that allows us to work together to turn our community around and try to keep incarceration down as much as possible, because incarceration don't do nothing but lock somebody up and give them 4 or 5 years to come home and do it again. And it's a continuous cycle that was started. We want to stop that cycle.
Uniquia?
That's my opinion as well. Just a better relationship. Usually when the police come, it's more like a interrogation or an attack or something like that. It almost kind of seems like a nitpick or whatever, just because it's the same individuals. We do get it. There is certain people that keep committing the same crimes and stuff like that. But I think if we had a better relationship with the police, it would be better for us to be able to solve these issues and move forward.
Demetrius, you said something on the stage when you left. I know you were talking about opioids and the crisis of that, of course, and the crime. You also said, and you didn't get a chance to, because they didn't give you a chance to speak about this. The system has failed us, and I'm just wondering, what do you think? I know what you mean, but let everyone know what you mean by that. What do you mean the system's failed?
When I say the system failed, I mean the way that the system was designed, however long ago, it was designed in a way to hold down people. It was designed in a way to help certain people get ahead. Like, let me give you an example. I've been looking into this. The truant officers, right? I see all the truant officers that we got in Niagara Falls is connected or some kind of way has helped people with their campaign or getting in office. That's a system that is failing, because how do we expect these truant officers to get our kids to school, to make sure that they're in school and to make sure that they want this education, if they only there because they help somebody out? Why isn't there more efficient people? So when I say the system has failed, it's because the system is ran by the same people. When you help somebody and you got a little influence, you get that job. And another way that the system has failed us is it has forgotten about the average day-to-day people, and it has focused on only the 4,000 people that vote tomorrow. Them is the main people that get the focus. Wherever them people is the ones that's going to have the good streets. The way that it is the ones that go and vote is going to have a better job. It's time for the system to understand that somebody said earlier that we need a inclusive to everybody system that's going to allow, even if you don't vote, when I win, I'm coming to help you, because I understand about looking in the dark places and finding those that need to be uplifted is going to uplift our whole community.
Uniquia?
I agree. I agree as well.
Okay, so all right, here's a question from the message board. It's from Mary Leahy. She asks, she's asking the candidates, what is your opinion on drug court and drug court programs?
Well, a lot of the drug court programs, believe it or not, it isn't the users in drug court, it's the dealers that got to say you users. When you get arrested with drugs, it's a rule in our community. You smoke it. So if you get caught with crack, you smoke crack. You're not going to go in there and say, I sell it. You're going to say, I smoke it. So they throw you on drug court and they make you go through these programs that a lot of it is for users. And a lot of them that's on drug court ain't a user. It do keep them clean for a while. it do keep them where they can't touch it. They're going to put on gloves before they touch it. But I do feel programs is needed. I think these programs need to be adapted to actually suit the people that is on them. So even with drug court, there's some stuff that needs to be changed around to make sure that it is actually changing the drug dealer from wanting to sell drugs. And that's the part that's skipping, because they don't want to give the dealer no kind of program, but they really gives the dealers all kind of programs. They just let them say that they use them. So we need to have programs that set up that can actually target the mind of the dealer, because a lot of people don't know this. It's people that's addicted to the drugs as far as using it. Then it's people that's addicted to selling it. They're both as addicted. They both just as strong addicted. You can have all the money in the world and you're still going to sell drugs if you're addicted to selling them drugs. So these programs is needed, because if not, it's going to be a bigger mass incarceration of just locking people up. But I think we need to fine tune a lot of these programs. Same thing with the treatment centers. They need to be fine tuned to come up to date on 2023 and make sure that it's amply getting to the message across, and it's actually lifting and working with these people.
Okay, sorry guys, I just had to adjust something. Uniquia, anything to add to that? Oh, I think you froze. Yeah, I think we froze. Are you there, Uniquia? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear
anything,
you, but you
anything
aren't
you want to
moving or
add to that?
anything, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, so the drug programs, I just feel like they need to, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
The drug programs, I just feel like they need to be adjusted to what's going on today. Like the opiates and like there's different programs or whatever that's needed. There's people that just smoke weed, they're addicted to smoking weed. There's people that pop pills, they're addicted to people that, are addicted to synthetic weed and things like that. I just feel like the programs, they need to be able to accommodate the drug of choice that the people are choosing in order to be successful. And like he said, the people that are actually on in drug court and things like that aren't really the users. So we need to be able to target them in a way to where they will want to come in and receive that help, but make sure that it is available as well.
The next thing is that I got from an email today. They wanted me to ask both of you about like development downtown, all of that. How would you deal with Howard Milstein, NFR, and all of them? How would you as mayor, Demetreus, how do you deal with a guy like that? Or how do you deal with them, the NFR, Albany, the whole bunch?
Well, NFR, it's another NFR, and that land down there is another one of them things that I'm passionate about. Y'all know that's my community. That's where I was raised, that they took. While I was gone away from my little bit when I was a kid, when I came home, everything was gone. They used a pioneer in the black community, Ronnie Cunningham. They used him to go in there and take all of our grandparents' house or get them sold. And now there's no community. There's nothing for their kids. Them same kids that lived over there on that side of town, and they pushed us over here. And that's what I'm explaining to people now. They're pushing crime around. From NFR said, we coming in here and we can help get the crime down in the worst neighborhood. And they brought up the whole neighborhood and they pushed the crime to the middle of town. And we're dealing with that now. Their kids don't have a stake in this community. So one of the things I want to go with NFR is I want to do mass build. I believe in being a big dreamer. So I want to find someone who's going to build in the masses. I want to find somebody, like I said, the Saudis, a foreign entity, somebody. Howard Milstein don't got the money to build this land that he got. So we got to sit down with NFR and come up with a plan that's going to build all 147 acres, not just 12 of it. We want to see it all built. We're tired of chunks of our land just sitting there. And one of the things I'm hoping to do within 4 years is get Niagara Falls known as a place that people want to live in, which means I want to start bringing the population up, not just bring the crime down, but as the crime going down, I want the population to start going up with fresh minds, with educated people. I don't want to just bring a bunch of welfare cases in here. No, I want to bring in people with skills and jobs. So another thing that I want to do is some kind of way create an initiative too to get more doctors in here, more doctor offices, and more, in the medical field and things like that can actually take care of the people that come. Because right now, I don't think we got enough medical. I don't know all the details, but I don't think we even got enough medical facilities to really deal with raising our population. So if we want to raise in our population, we must build that. With Main Street, I want to take Main Street and find developers that's going to come in and together at once build. It's no longer you get this property and you got to wait 3 years. No. With Pine Avenue development, I want to find a lot of grant money. I want to try and find state and federal grant money that I can help the locals revive Pine Avenue. And another thing I don't want to do with Pine, I don't want to get rid of our history. A lot of people hit me saying, let's drop Little Italy. It's not Little Italy no more. The Italians is gone. But Little Italy is part of our history. I think we should leave it Little Italy, and we should piggyback off of the history of how these foreigners came in here and made a city or helped us make a city.
Uniquia?
I really honestly don't have a plan or anything for NFR land. I just know it needs to be utilized and developed over there instead of just having just a bunch of land just sitting.
And you as a city council person,
so that's something that will be in the making.
Breaking up.
You're breaking up.
And things like that.
Yeah, and I think you as a city council person, I know it'd be a lot different because you guys are more budgetary stuff. But although I think we talked before, and it's more to that being a city council person. It's not just sitting there worrying about a budget, right? You got to get out there like you said you want to. Now,
Right,
Demetreus.
exactly.
Oh, go ahead. Demetreus, let me ask you another question. As far as like Main Street, for example, we used to have slip goes on it. We used to have a lot. We're getting to the point where there's parts of the city that are going to be like a food desert. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Yeah, it's parts that's starting to look like NFR land outside of NFR land.
Yeah, it's starting to be the old Montante land. Because they are doing the same thing. There was another question. Hold on one second. Let me find it from the audience that we got. This is kind of like a repetitive question here, guys, but I'll ask it anyways. Do you think the system was built this way? Was it not a failure, or is it just it was supposed to be this way and it's working good? But I think the point they're trying to make is maybe it's not failing; it's the way it's supposed to be.
The way it's designed, but it wasn't. Yes, I do believe the system was designed to hold certain people down. But what happened over however many, 50, 100 years, what ends up happening is the system is designed to hold down a group of people. But what happened when time go by and we all become the same? So now it's holding everybody down because it was designed to hold a certain group of people down, but now we're all the same. The issues that my community face and the Black community face, everyone is facing. Everyone has the same issues, but the system is holding us down.
Yeah. The next question we have, and we're getting Uniquia back. She's just timing out a little bit. The next question we got from someone from the message board. Her name is Sandra Davis. And she asks, considering all your past troubles, she's talking to you, Demetrius, considering with all your past troubles with city officials and maybe city police department, do you think you will be able to find cooperation among other officials if elected?
One thing about me, I'm a uniter, and I work with the police now. I work with the police in a point where my connections to the community and trying to bridge the gap, everything I'm talking about doing now is stuff that I have been doing for 5 or 6 years. So it isn't like the police hate him. They love me because at the end of the day, I'm the one that when they come out and they jump out on this corner and everybody riled up, I'm the one that's stopping it. I'm very good with working with people. It ain't like my past helps me learn and understand differently. Like even when it's a bad cop, I was talking to before when it was the other sheriff. Chief of police. I was talking to him and he like, this cop keep harassing the community, but it was nothing he could do because of the union contracts and this and that. And when I was explaining him, he's like, yo, you really got a grips on this thing. You understand it. I'm like, yeah, I understand. You can't just fire him, but you need to pull him out the community because he's riling up the community and putting the other officers in danger. I understand this connection in a way that no one else could because I understand from the cop point of view, I understand that they got a job. I also understand that the people out here that's committing these crimes, also their job in their mind is to hide from these police. I understand bridging people together because I understand everybody.
Yeah, and that's going to be a major thing for you if you do win. We've never had anyone that would understand everything. We've always just had one way. So it would be an interesting way to see what we could do here because honestly, we are at it when in the middle of the day, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we had allegedly someone's been shot in the head. And so, we are failing with how we do these things. Uniquia, can I ask you something? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I didn't miss the question
Okay.
because I don't know what happened. I just got, but
No,
go
it's
ahead.
okay. Here's a question it was another question I got earlier this morning, but it goes to both you guys. There has been, from the southern border, this is a really this is a question. It's kind of out there, but the southern border, we've had people coming in from Mexico, whatever that is. They have gone to New York City, and supposedly the governor is sending people here by the busload. Are you willing to accept them to come in, or do you think that maybe they should stay out? Demetrius?
What you say? Say that again.
The question is,
I
there are people
mean,
coming in from the southern border, and they are going to New York City. They're being bused here from Texas to New York City, and then the governor, New York City can't handle it, so they're sending it our way in Western New York.
We can't handle it right now. Our
Okay.
population is too low. Like I just said, we need more doctors. We need a lot more stuff to be able to house a higher population. So the first thing we need to do, what's one thing that made America beautiful? It was the land of the free. Everyone came here for school, for college, and they wanted to stay here. We need Niagara Falls to be a place first. I'm not saying down the road we can look into this, but first we need Niagara Falls to be a place that's bringing in the world's brightest and most intelligent. We need to bring them in first so we could turn the tide and actually have people that can help build this community first. Then we could do our duty to society and maybe help out if there's a crisis across the country. But first, we need to go into Niagara Falls and make sure we got enough resources for the people here. It's already so many people being forgotten here that how do we bring in more people just to forget them too?
Uniquia?
revitalize and change everything that we do have going on, like he said. Get our place up and running before we saturate it. Because soon it'll just be just total chaos, just a bunch of displacement, a bunch of people, just coming in and out, and we're going to be overpopulated. We talk about the population and how it's low, but if they're just coming here just because we need a purpose, basically.
And Jeannie May in the message board says, great answer to you guys. Robin, do you have a question?
Yes. We talk on the show a ton about sexual assault survivors, and I was just looking to hear from both of you what you think you could do to make Niagara Falls a safer place for sexual assault survivors and to bring down the rate of sexual assault.
Something that I want to put a focus on, and I don't know, like I don't got the exact answer how, but our kids, you'd be surprised how many of our kids is actually being touched as they growing up. Me being one of them. When I was a kid, I was actually raped as a kid, and it's something that is taboo that nobody really wants to talk about, but it happened to me. It's happening to a lot of us, and we're covering it up. I want to find out a way to make the kids comfortable or something that can actually, the adult, I understand the adult too, but from kids, it's happening and it's affecting us when we get older. Like a lot of people, I could tell how they move or how they act a certain way. I could tell that they was touched because I've been through it.
Yeah, definitely. Demetrius, if you ever figure out what you want to do with that, let me know because I'd love to be a part of it.
Because Robin was also in that.
I would love to. I would love to
also
see this is the type of stuff when I figure out what I want to do. When I figure it out, I want to sit down and talk with people like her, Robin, who've been through it, and then we're gonna sit down and together form a way to do it because I don't have all the answers. I always said this. My administrative is gonna be exclusive to the people. Let's hear from the people. Bring me your ideals, and then I'm gonna take your ideals and I'm gonna fight vigorously to make sure that they come to life. So we need to sit down together and figure out this issue because it is something that weighs on my heart. I'm scared to send my daughter anywhere because of what happened to me. Until she started talking, she couldn't even go to her granddaddy's house. It wasn't until she was talking and she understood. Now I said she could go over there. Before that, I wouldn't even let her go. And nobody understood why. It's because It just became like a year ago that I felt comfortable enough speaking about it. And I'm 36 years old now. So I was 35 and this happened when I was 5. It took me 30 years just to let it come out of my mouth.
Yeah, same for me, Demetrius. The exact same thing. It took me 30 years before I was able to say that I was raped.
Unica?
That's a kind of a touchy subject as well. It's kind of hard, especially when you try to express it and then nobody believes you, or they try to sweep it under the rug, or they try to keep it like a family secret. So I as well have been a victim, not only as a child but as an adult, and it's kind of hard to express, and especially when you see that person too, still on a regular, like in the community. So I'm not really too sure of exactly what we can do, but I'm willing to be a part of, to move forward because it is an issue.
Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. And from 1970 all the way till the 2000s, the city of Niagara Falls' school district is facing 28 lawsuits for teachers that raped children. And there's a hell of a lot more that people just didn't come forward because they didn't feel comfortable. They only had that 1 year to come forward, but there's 28 sitting out there and they're being worked right now. I don't know how the school district's going to do it, but because they're going to have to pay because these things happened. There's some guys teachers that did it to 5-6 different children because they just did it every year throughout their career. And our school district kept moving them around. They just kept moving them from school to school. So I don't know if a lot of people realize, but there's a certain point where the school district's going to have to
step
base.
in. See, I didn't know that. Another thing, this is a little off topic, but a little thing I'm going to do too when I'm mayor, I'm going to attend the school board meetings a lot more so I could bring a lot more awareness and a lot more influence over our school system to bring a lot of changes. And that has to be one of them because I didn't know that was going on. That is for our kids not to be safe in the same place that they're supposed to be educated to set them up for life is crazy. Ain't enough money in this world could pay me to forget what happened to me as a child.
Right. Yeah. All right. I don't want to hold you guys much more, but tomorrow's election day. Unbelievable. We finally got there. I'll start with Uniquia first. Why should you be a city council person after tomorrow night, or at least you'd win the primary? I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the best person for the job. Like I said, I attend all the city council meetings. I know what's going on. And there's a lot of attention into Centennial Park that I do not agree with. Just a lot of different issues that are going on within City Hall. Some people know and some people don't know. But I attend the meetings and I know what's going on. I know how I could be of assistance to move the city forward in a positive way. I would be able to certainly help allocate the money and where it should go when make it more positive. Like, I am the people, I'm not a politician, so it wouldn't be coming from a perspective of just saying this to get this. Like, I'm really for the people. I am the people.
Very good. Thank you. Demetrius, same question to you. Well, tomorrow comes, you're going to win. If you win, you're heading on to face the Republican in November. Although I know you still have another lie. Even if you were not to win tomorrow, you're still going to November. Why are you the best guy for this?
I feel like my skills, my talent, and my life makes me perfect for what this city needs at this moment. So I feel like I am the best candidate as far as, my skills of like the stuff that everybody takes so serious, like fixing the roads, cutting the trees. To me, that's like the easy stuff. I'm ready to get at the harder stuff, the harder building. And I feel like it was my duty, and I said this at the debate. Civil service was not supposed to be something that we made a career out of. It was supposed to be something that you give your skills and your talent and you give to your community for a set amount of time, then you go back into the private sector. And that's what I am doing. I am offering my skills and my talent, and I'm only running one time. I'm never running again. If my city don't believe in me tomorrow, it's over. You will never get me to run again. And I know that one day this city going to say, damn, we wish we had him. I'm not begging for a vote. All I could do is I'm not running against nobody. I'm running against the system, and I could tell you what I stand for, what I would do, and how I would give the best 4 years of my life to this city. If people believe in that, vote for me. If you don't, just after it's over, please don't ask me to run again. Don't say you could do it again. You have one shot for me to put my life and all the skills I have, because most people in my position, they would never even say, let's run for mayor. They would not run for mayor. That's like Howard Milstein running for mayor. He's not going to run for mayor. He has too much influences outside of that system. So this is me saying I'm putting my life up and asking the city, if you believe in me and you want me, I'm willing to dedicate I don't got too much of my life to give, but I do have some time to give to helping my city turn it around. And that's what I'm willing to do for a limited amount of time. I don't plan on getting in here being a career politician. So don't think of me as your mayor forever. I'm the one that's going to get in here and I'm going to light the fires that's going to spark the change of this city.
All right. Last thing before you guys go, tomorrow is the day. Is there anywhere your supporters will be gathering together or anything going on that for tomorrow?
Every day going forward, and this is if we win or lose, the Entrepreneur School of Thought, we are here every day, 1110 19th Street. I'm asking the community to come together and bond with us to go forward. Another thing I want to say, if I win tomorrow, on June 28th, we're going to start working on it. Every single week, we're going to meet somewhere, and it's going to start at the school, but then we're going to branch outside the school, and we're going to start every single week putting a committee of just anybody who want to come from the city together that's going to form the plan of what we're going to do next year. I'm not worried about the Republicans. We'll beat them easy. So as of the 28th, if we win, we don't want to wait to January 1st to get the work. We're going to get the work right from July on, and together as a community, we're going to build where we want our city to go and what we want our city to look like.
Very good. Uniquia, any last words before we, I guess, say goodbye and wish you guys luck?
When we win, he keeps saying if we win. When we win, that plan is awesome. We already have like the blueprint because we had it all figured out on the wall at one time, and now it's just time to make it a reality. So
all right, guys, I wish you both I wish you guys all the luck tomorrow. And I know I'll be seeing you guys no matter what happens tomorrow. I'll be seeing the both of you again. Take care, guys.
Good luck to both.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having us. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was Uniquia Lewis and Demetreus Nix. Demetreus Nix running for Niagara Falls Mayor. Uniquia Lewis running for Niagara Falls City Council. If you want to react to the message board, please do so. I saw Noelle in there. Hi, Noelle.
Yeah, Noelle.
Nice to see you in there. And our thoughts are with you, of course, all of us, all the fans of the show, people that watch the show, and all of us. So we can hope that Ryan gets heals quickly, because that's what you need. It's a lot of broken bones.
Slap him around.
Oh no, yeah, no. All right, let's take a break. Don't go away, because when we come back, we can talk about what we heard. We got a big election coming up tomorrow. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.
Digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
right. Thank you for hanging around here with us. And that was Demetreus Nix running for mayor of the city of Niagara Falls, Uniquia Lewis running for city council tomorrow. The current mayor takes on Glenn Shalokian and Demetreus Nix in a primary runoff there to see who moves on to take on the Republican, who I'm not sure the name right now, Chris something. And whatever, it doesn't even matter at this point because that'll work itself out when we find out who wins tomorrow.
Right.
Unique is going up against a number of candidates over there on that side. We've gone into some of them. It's a Democrat primary. The Republicans must not have one, I guess. No, obviously not. So I'll say this about Uniquia. I really like her.
Yes.
I like them both. I like everyone. You know what? I haven't gone on this show and made any comments this year. If you notice,
right.
I have kept myself out of the whole damn thing, pretty much. Except I've had whoever wanted to come on to be an interview. Interviews. We've had Glenn. We've had Demetrius a couple times. Uniquia a couple times. Whatever. Come on. The mayor could have came. The mayor or a representative his could have gladly come on. I wouldn't have cared. But no, I'm talking. But they could have sent a representative over. He's not going to do it himself. But I would do it. But my point is, I've stayed out of it. All I'm going to say about Uniquia is this: when it comes to what I see going in the city council, she has a, and this is going to sound like a weird word, so maybe you can think of another one. It's almost like an innocence to it all that isn't bad. Freshness, that's a good word. That isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of.
No agenda in my mind that I'm seeing when I speak to her.
Right. Like, so, I feel like Uniquia very open to good ideas. Like, she's just very new to it in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a naive kind of way, but more in I'm willing to take in whatever.
I think we've learned from both of them in the times we've been with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I have no horse in the race. I just don't at all. And that even includes the mayor. I just don't care. I think I've said this. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever.
It already is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
But they seem to have the ability, and I've actually kind of seen it, to work with others and think of the other side.
Yeah.
And I also will say the answer on the southern border was interesting. Because the reason why that question's asked is because, people are coming allegedly, right? Oh, not allegedly, they are, from Texas, and they're being sent to New York City. We see it. It's real. Them coming here is real.
Right.
Or here, or in our Western New York. And I thought that was an interesting answer, to the question of that, because that's probably an answer that you would figure the other two candidates would say too.
Right.
You would imagine.
You would hope.
I think Glenn is great too. I've had no problems with Glenn. Glenn has answered, all of our questions. He was.
Yep.
I have no problem with Glenn.
A lot about Uniquia. I think Demetrius is awesome too. I think his ideas are incredible. I think
they're innovative for sure.
Yeah, and I
different.
And I think he really means it. Like, I think he really means he's not a politician. He really means that he's going to come in
and try to do something
and try to reform something and make it better and leave it better.
And I think Glenn is good to work with people too.
Oh, and I've
watched him do that.
I've always liked Glenn.
Yeah, he will work with the other side too, and take personalities out of everything, and even personal friendships or whatever. I believe that they're both, when it comes to this stuff, willing to listen to other sides of things.
Yes.
And see where a compromise can be.
Yes.
I'm not going to speak about the mayor. I've spoken enough about him through my lifetime. So that would be up to anyone else to figure out what they think about him.
Or ask specifically, I guess. If you don't know what you think of the mayor and you...
Well, don't ask me. Ask him. Do you see what I'm saying? You ask me, I can't... Those questions need to be asked of him.
Right, yeah.
For me... I mean, I gave my ideas in 2019. I haven't given it any since.
Right.
Because I got no more to say. But for me, there's certain things the mayor has done that I've had no problem with. I've said it on the show. Yeah. There has been certain things that I disagree as mayor. He's done a few things I was agreeable on. Yeah. They were fine by me. Even the arena thing, which I knew was coming. I said this. I saw it since 1995. I knew it was coming. I also knew that he would say, look at me, I'm the only mayor. I told you this, I said it on here, that would stand up to NFR. He put a mailer out like that.
Yeah.
And it says, I'm the only mayor ever in 40 years to ever stand up to these people. And he's not lying when he says that, if it's honestly what's happening.
Right.
Because he would be the only one.
Right.
That has possibility of taking land back. Now, no one likes eminent domain because it takes too long, it's expensive, but it also is too long for 40 years.
Right.
For nothing. And we're paying them back because we overtaxed them, as you recall, in the Deister administration.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a positive note that I don't know about an arena. I don't know if that's what's needed. I'm not sure. I don't know, have any idea. But it also is got to be mentioned that no one has done anything down there.
Right.
And if there's a chance to grab some of it back, like Mr. Nick said there, he'd like to get it all. You should want to get it all.
Right.
And I think that's what any mayor should want to get it all.
And and we should put some affordable housing in there. And I mean, there's all kinds of things that should be done that nobody is talking about, that I take that back, that maybe Demetreus is kind of touching on. I think he's touching on the fact that, we need an arena isn't enough to do.
You know what else too needs to be touched on, and I've tried myself, is the rental crisis here.
Yes.
We have a serious problem that is it's definitely not reached its peak.
No.
It will.
Yeah.
And as we look around in Niagara Falls at the possibilities of just jobs and stuff, if you can see that they're $14, $15 an hour still around here.
Yeah, it's very rough.
It's very difficult. So when you got people that are renting and you try to raise rent by $400 on them, when rent was $800, now it's $1,200, you've just basically evicted them.
Right.
And put them on the street. So these are the types of things that City Hall can get involved in, because other cities have done it, and say, look, we can't raise rent here and you could do this in different communities. Like, it can be just for certain sections of town, even of your city.
Right.
Whether they've done that in Minneapolis and parts of New York City, I think, or maybe even Utica, New York, whatever, where, okay, you're here. We know this is kind of this is an area that doesn't, that's struggling. You can't go there and raise this thing 25%.
Right.
If inflation's 7%, okay, 7%. There has to be something done with it, because you want to talk about crime and you want to talk about families. I mean, that just destroys them. So,
another thing that Demetrius said, and he brought up a few times that I really liked, was the idea of bringing in more doctors, that we need more services here if we're going to have more people. I think that's important to point out, because I think we're really void of the services that people need and deserve in this city, and we can't provide them for the residents that we have, let alone, like they said,
think about
more residents.
Think about when we've looked because personal stuff, but we look for rheumatologists.
Yes.
There's one.
Right, and they don't answer
their phone. So I pay more. Scott says I pay more for rent now than the last mortgage I had. Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. The rent in Niagara Falls is, as the guys say, it's too damn high. The guy who ran for governor. You can't expect. I don't know who's paying it. I'm not sure what social services is doing these days with that kind of stuff. But when I see $1,100 2-bedroom on 17th and Pine, I don't know what to say to that. We're not there. Maybe that's where it is in the country. Maybe, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe rent has done that if you're in Williamsville,
right,
or if you're in Delaware and down in one of those districts in Buffalo. We're not there. We're not even close.
No.
So I don't know how this goes.
We couldn't, and when I say we, I mean everyone. Niagara Falls as a city couldn't pay rent and have a good quality of life before this huge increase in rent. Now, I mean, people are struggling. Do I pay my electric bill or do I eat?
No, Burdette says social services is paying up to $1,000 for some, and I'm not surprised because it's just going to get worse, right? Of course they're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because how else are these? There's no, when you're used to paying $800,
Right.
and they can come to you and say, look, it's going to $1,300. You only have one choice. So that would be the landlord not caring how you get the money. So you have no choice.
Social services isn't as easy as everybody thinks
to
pay out that money either. Like, social services isn't just sitting there waiting.
It's not 1980s social services anymore.
They're not just waiting to help people. Like,
no, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of hoops. There's a lot of stuff that you have to go through.
And they make it really difficult.
But there's no other choice
at
this point.
Yeah.
And they're making it to be no other choice.
Right.
It's being made that way, and I'd love to know why, and I'd love to know why City Hall doesn't really care about the fact that when you're going to the 500 block of whatever street across there, or where, and you're seeing $1,200, we're not ready.
No.
It's $30,000 or nothing here, basically, a year. And yes, everyone can you can say whatever the hell you want, but it's just the way it is. Factories aren't even paying well. Even they're not. They're just not. I was in them. I've been in them.
And factories are like, they might as well be.
Well, it might as well be Tops. It might as well be a market, a city, a thing.
Not even. I mean, they're just a dumping ground for parolees.
Sadly, that's what it is.
And then it just becomes a revolving door.
Do you remember that poor girl, Bolander? Do you remember her? She was killed in LaSalle.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I just found out that one of the people involved in that is working at the factory I used to work at.
Wow.
They brought them in because it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just don't matter.
I'm not surprised.
So yeah, I'm hoping at some point someone does step in for that. That's one thing that I'm really concerned about, because through this show, we've had too many people get in touch with us to say that they are in their car and their families and whatever.
Yeah.
We see the mattresses under the viaducts. I mean, they're here.
Yeah.
Just open your eyes. You can see the one in LaSalle.
And there's one on Portage.
There's a lot. So, and we are just. I don't know if raising the rent is in effect trying to move people out of here, because I know everyone wants to run a bed and breakfast or something. I can't tell, because it's just bizarre.
Right.
How it has. I understand COVID. I understand all that, but it doesn't justify to raise someone's rent 50% almost.
No.
You just can't do it. It's not feasible. And I think City Hall should get involved in that. The city council or the mayor has to get involved to make sure that doesn't happen. And there's certain ways you can do it. You can make districts, you can make zones. And the other thing I wish they would do someday, and they'll never freaking do it around here, is I wish we had district councils. I wish we had district seats for that city council. We could make 5 districts easily in the city, because I think they're already set up for being county legislators, and just do it that way.
Right.
It would make things so much easier around here, and you wouldn't have all this big, you would definitely, with the way this city is set up, you would definitely have different things,
right?
Different opinions in City Hall.
You would.
And it's something.
They don't want that, though.
No, and it would take probably, I guess, city charter thing. I don't know how you'd do it, but it's something to look into.
Yeah.
Depending on who wins this election. If Glenn or whatever. If someone other than the mayor, because I know the mayor's not going to do it. I work for a decent company and have a hard time paying bills. I can't imagine making minimum wage and having the rent raised. Yeah, and that's what we've seen, Scott, so many times here. Liv says, is that 50% rent hike happening in a specific area, or is it happening through different areas? It seems to be happening in the entire city, honestly.
Yeah.
Like even out in LaSalle.
Yeah.
I've seen like, oh my God, $1,200 when it was. Yeah, you know what? It's certainly, you know what though? She makes a good point, because that's why I wonder sometimes about trying to drive people out for bed and breakfasts downtown here. In that area, Pine Avenue, and because you're closer to the falls.
Right.
It makes you wonder, because it's just, I don't believe that a landlord that's used to getting $800 a month, let's say, or $900, in their own mind believes raising it to $1,200 is going to work.
Right.
I mean, it's just not. It's a really good question. Or is it happening throughout different areas? It's happening wherever rent is available, it feels like. Wouldn't you say? Wherever there's renting available. Whether it's down where we live here or, the center city, the north end, whatever. It seems to be everywhere. I mean, there's certain places that don't have rentals, it appears. Like in DeVoe, rentals seem to be bed and breakfasts.
Right.
Not actual rental. There's some, don't get me wrong. I know there's some. LaSalle, there's more renting out there than used to be. There definitely is. And then along Pine Avenue's got to be mostly rent.
Right.
I would guess along Pine, more renting than not.
Yeah.
A lot of landlords here do not live here. We know that.
Right.
There's quite a number. So that's tough, especially when you have a landlord that lives in New York City or over that way. They don't understand this community one bit.
Right.
That's where the mayor and city council have to step in. Because since they don't understand the community, those landlords that live in California or wherever they are, we have to make sure they understand.
Right.
It's unfortunately called rent controls, and people hate that, but call it what you want. But somewhere in here, you got to make a difference. And
it's called common sense.
Right. It's like, all right, rent's $800. When someone comes, you say, I'm gonna have to raise it to 900 or 850. That's, okay, 850. You get it. It raises on 50. It can happen.
And it hurts.
That hurts. Yeah. Can you imagine 400?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's on inflation though, is what it should be. Because inflation was really high. I remember during COVID, it was like, I don't know, if it was 10%, 7%, whatever the hell it was. I get it. That's where it is. Normally it should be at 3%, 4%.
Right.
So I there's so much intertwined in this, because obviously then I realize the people got to pay mortgage. I know.
Right.
But it's just, a city can't exist like this, where families are being thrown out. And, you want to talk about crime and drug use and everything else. If you don't have a home and you don't have that feeling of safeness in your home, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a real problem. So, all right, we should probably wrap it up, Robin. We had a good show.
Oh, wow, already. That went quick.
Thank you to Demetreus Nix, who is running for Niagara Falls mayor, and Uniquia Lewis, who is also running for Niagara Falls City Council. Tomorrow will be election day, so anyone who hasn't voted, they can vote in that primary. Do so. Starts at 6 a.m., goes to 9 p.m. I am sure, right, you're right, Mary. Taxes and water keep going up on the landlords too. I agree. I understand. But there's got to be a way in there there's got to be a way to fix the crazy jumps to like 300-400.
A lot of tenants are paying their water.
That you do too sometimes. Yes, a lot. Scott says prayers for Ryan. Yes, let's not forget about Ryan. If you're just coming into the show, you see Noelle isn't here. She went on vacation, which is beautiful. She needs a break, definitely. But unfortunately, while she was gone away, Ryan got into a horrible accident on his motorcycle where he hit a deer. Luckily, he was wearing his helmet.
Yeah.
He has broken ribs. He's got a broken wrist. He's got a broken shoulder. So yes, there's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of healing, but thankfully he'll be home soon. And that's not as bad as it could have been.
Right.
It could have been a disaster.
Yeah. I mean,
wear your helmets out there
in
too.
Motorcycle accidents, they don't usually end this way.
They
really don't. So
he wore his helmet. Everyone wear your helmet.
Yeah.
Too. The helmet probably saved his life. At least I think that's what the police said.
Yeah.
So we wish him the best, of course, and Noelle will be back with us next week. And there's a thing about D'Angelo that happened, by the way. For real quick out there, Shelley says Nick's for mayor. Did you see he had his thing today? He had you remember the case about the fraud, the campaign fraud?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they had a court thing on Friday. They go into court with the DA, of course, and him and his lawyer, Melber, whatever his name is. Melber and Givens go into the chambers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They talk for an hour, almost a half an hour, come out, Givens gets her thing and leaves. It was delayed. That's it. They're coming back at it June 30th. They just delayed it. It's all in the newspaper. You can read it. We'll be talking about that, I'm sure, next Monday, because it's insane what this guy's getting away with. So.
Yeah,
all right.
And we'll be gearing up next Monday for because next Wednesday is when they decide.
Right, sentencing.
Yeah, so if you haven't written your letters, write your letters to Judge Deborah Givens
Yes, write your letters. Let me put that up here for us before I forget, before we go. There's her address. It's a simple letter.
All you have to do is write this letter and tell her why you think Nick D'Angelo should be a level 3 sex offender. That's all you have to do. Or just say Nick D'Angelo should be a level 3 sex offender.
Right. Simply, that's it.
It's that easy. If anybody wants me to write a letter and they want to put their name to it, I'll gladly do it. But let's get the letters in before July 6th is the date of that the judge will make that decision.
And hopefully I will be able to be there and we can live stream
that
day
I will
on
be
July
there.
6th. You took your day off. I should be there. I don't think I have any other podcasts that day. So I'm hoping I can live stream, obviously from outside. I can't do it from inside, but at least I can give you up-to-date stuff. Liv, I sent my letter and I just tweeted and asked my followers to write them as well. Thank you, Liv.
Thank
you very much. Scott will be there July 6th. As I said, we have Shelly Meacham who said Nick's for mayor. Yes, Scott, read it. If you go on, actually go on Citizens United page. The article is there that you can read from Yahoo News about what happened in the courtroom. It's a real long article about D'Angelo and how it was delayed the other day and no one really knows why. They just walked off. Something else had to be done. Who the hell knows?
I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
And not in a way like I'm just so sick of at every turn there being just disgust and disappointment.
Yep. And I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah.
Anyhow, why don't we get out of here? Next week, Noel will be back. We'll be back at the Del Zappos. We'll all be back together again. We're a little shorthanded tonight, but luckily and nicely, they were having a nice vacation. So I'm happy for Noel. She needed that.
Glad to say got away.
And Ryan's going to get better and be fine.
Yep. Everyone keep them in your thoughts.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. Keep your eyes open on the Citizens United page, of course. And we have a Twitter that we use, and we have a TikTok that we use. We also have a Rumble account now that we use. So you can find us anywhere. And if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover anytime, we'd be glad to do it. And just send us a message, and we will get into it if we can, or the best we can. All right, everybody, we'll see you next week.